Hello and welcome to our new Aston Villa podcast, Claret and Blue. I'm Matt Kendrick, football editor at Birmingham Live. Aston Villa through and through for my sins. I'm joined by Ashley Preece, our Aston Villa writer.
That's it, yeah.
We're a bit nervous. It's our first edition of the relaunch. We haven't quite done a Matty target and puked all over the floor, but it has been... They're a bit anxious. We want to make sure that we make this an all singing, all dancing extravaganza. And what better way to kick off than with an Aston Villa victory? You know, we're not going to be able to promise you one of these every week, but hopefully we'll be able to promise you an Aston Villa victory 1 week in 3, which should just see us eke over the line on 39.3 points. Last night, Ash, we were both there at Fortress Villa Park for the victory over Newcastle. What are your thoughts?
Routine win, as always. First half was brilliant. You've seen that from the team sheet Dean Smith put out. Dropping marvellous, no need for the insurance policy in there. We're going to go at Newcastle up the throat. There for the taking. They play 5-4-1, don't they? And he set out from there. The outset was there for all to see. We're going to go at Newcastle right from the off. And Hurahan, brilliant, scoring, setting one up. And the first half, that did the job, didn't it, in the end? Our guys getting in the act as well. Great to see it, everyone on form. Near enough sellout crowd as well, a month before Christmas on a Monday night. Spotted being on Sky. Says everything at the moment, and made all the more sweet tackles. Obviously, Bruce is in the other dugout. Yeah,
it was a proper Bruce versus Smith or Smith versus Bruce, because the way Newcastle was set up reminded me, and you'll get used to these crap analogies as time goes on, dear podcast listeners and viewers. You know those old kind of maze puzzles where you got that little steel ball bearing and you had to shake it around. Everywhere you looked was blocked, but you had to shake it around until you could find the gap. Yeah. It was like that. They were so kind of set up and kind of entrenched and encamped that I thought, God, this is going to be a bit of a slog, this is. So I was delighted that it took, and I heard Jack and Conor Hurahan talking about this free kick after the game. I was delighted that they had that little bit of inventiveness, and it must have killed Bruce, I think, to be done by 2 set pieces. Yeah. But the way that they created that first one for Conor, the goalie didn't have a clue the way he snuck in at the near post, and it needed something like that. It needed something like to bring Newcastle out. And as soon as that happened, I thought, you're joking about routine when it's never a routine win for Aston Villa. We've all followed Villa long enough to realise that nothing's ever straightforward. No. And those 10 minutes at the start of the second half were particularly kind of hairy, I thought. But after that, once Villa kind of got to grips with it again for the latter part of the second half, could have been 5 or 6, I thought.
Oh God,
Jack was brilliant, but his finishing probably was the only thing that let him down. But it's important. It's important to win the games, the league within the league, isn't it? Those games when you're playing at opposition who are going to be near you.
They're thereabouts, yeah. It was Villa played well for once and got the result for once, which this season's been the story of the year, hasn't it? Playing well and not getting anything. Last night they did that. Proves a point to the players and to Smith. We can actually play well and get the 3 points at the same time. As you say, the only gripe you could have is Villa could be more ruthless. The Newcastle were there for the taking. They could have got 3 or 4. Wesley had one on a plate, should have scored. And they'll take that into the games coming up now. But I thought Smith was bold from the outset. He knows what the Villa fans want. I want to see blood and thunder on the pitch, go out the opposition teams, whereas before, under previous regime, it'd be set up not to lose. So, which what Newcastle did yesterday. I couldn't fault the display. Having Jack Grealish back in there, he's a serious footballer now. Start taking him seriously. He does it time and time again. Forget the England nonsense. He's Villa's main man, and he did it last night. Got Man of the Match award. Carragher and Neville absolutely loving him, and he was there for the millions to watch on the box at home. Just how good he is. So start taking him seriously now. He's not just this pansy who goes over, falls over all the time. The stats speak for themselves. Out of this world stats, most touches. Dean Smith said on Friday, it's his happy place. I was thinking, what's he on about there? But shutting his stuff out there, it's like a kid in a park. It's great to watch. And now he stepped up to the Premier League now, as if it's with ease. I can do this. As I've said to you before, he's a bit tentative at the start of the year, thinking, I don't want to make any mistakes. Everyone's watching me. But now he's like, this is quite easy, and I'm gonna do the business, which he did last night. So getting more goals in the games, and he needs more goals to his game now, as you mentioned. But these big stages, he relishes these. The Emirates, he loved playing against their Old Trafford this weekend. He's going to love that. Chelsea at the Bridge, yeah. And he'll target the Leicester game in a few weeks as well to show I'm better than Maddison. I'm the real deal. So having him back, I can't speak highly. I mean, it's so good, isn't it?
It's interesting that you mentioned this happy place, because kind of I was sat up high in the Trinity for the match, and you know we know that Dean, win, lose or draw, stands by the tunnel and gives everybody a handshake. And it was Jack, and I don't think he was doing it deliberately to kind of over milk the acclaim. He's a last man off the pitch, a little friendly wave up to the galleries, and a big grin on his face. Takes his shirt off, gives it to a kid on the front row of the Trinity. Big embrace with Dean Smith, with a kind of big smile on his face, and he is his happy place, and it's such a nice kind of mutual appreciation society. Yeah. I mean, I've said this before. Villa fans, the connection that they've got with this team. I know there's a lot of new signings, but the team that's got them back in the Premier League, and the team that's got them proud again. Yep. It's such a lovely feeling, particularly on Grealish. Bit of name dropping. I mentioned to you lads that his dad sorted out one of Jack's old trophies for my lad, and Jack signed the back of it. Best wishes. So he's giving it to Nelson Colts under 12s. It's going to be for their man of the match or their trainer of the week award. So just thanks to Jack and his dad Kev for sorting that out. I was just saying that Jack probably earned that trophy back himself last night. We should have gone down and presented it with him, because he was really strutting his stuff. Wanted to talk to you about Conor Hourihane, because for me, Villa fans will probably think, Matt, you're just talking crap here. We're probably thinking that generally, to be honest, when they listen to me. I don't think Conor Hourihane has quite got to hero status yet with Villa fans, and yet I've not seen many goal-scoring midfielders down at Villa since, you can probably count them on one hand. In my time, and I'm talking over the last 30 years of watching Villa, you can probably say there's been Ian Taylor, there was James Milner for a patch.
Platt.
David Platt. David Platt was the archetypal goal-scoring midfielder. How did I forget Platt? Other than that, there ain't many Villa players who hit double figures. No,
incredible.
For Aston Villa.
Got a hat-trick as well, hasn't he, before?
Yeah.
I think he's 26 goals now in 103 starts. Not a bad return, is it? 1 in 5 average.
It's remarkable. And obviously we've got McGinn as well, who we hope is going to join that crew as well.
Yeah.
But Conor, he just, I don't know. Am I being harsh? Do you feel that, or do you feel that the love that he's due? He's finally
drew a lot of
getting,
love, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, he come for a pittance, didn't he? Steve Bruce signing, funnily enough. But
tried to claim that. Well, he was claiming that one last night.
He was claiming that one.
What about small victories, Bruce? Here, look at the scoreboard.
Yeah. As for Hourihane,
but thank you for signing, and McGinn.
Yeah, cheers. Nice one. He scores in spurts, doesn't he? I mean, he has the odd bad game, which I'll be honest, he's not that authoritative time and time again. Yeah. But when he comes in, he's doing it now. He's proving Dean Smith wrong. What he dropped me at Man City, and he's come back firing again. Scored 3 for the season now. Should have scored one. Had one chucked off of Brighton, didn't he, as well? Or Burnley, was it? But he's got a knack of coming in and scoring and proving a point, which is great to see. I hope to see him stick onto his shirt now, grab hold of his shirt, put in some more dominant displays, and prove his worth, which he's doing. That left foot of his, it can unlock defences, open cans with it. It's that good. So that could be a real weapon for Villa.
There's a canister up there actually that I bought Dan for his birthday. So if he wants to come around and open that, much as I'm loving this tea, think about Conor Hourihane. I think I think I'm right in saying he grew up in the same part of Ireland as Roy Keane. He knew Keane. Did he? No, I think
Sunderland trainer.
Was it Sunderland? Yeah. Was it? He ain't going to be. What I'm saying is, he ain't going to be Roy Keane. That's not in his makeup. No. He's not got that aggressive streak. He's not going to go and be your enforcer. He's not going to go and stick his foot in and win you the ball. So I think sometimes because he's not that in-your-face player.
You've got McGinn for that, haven't you?
Yeah, and I think but sometimes Hourihane can kind of exist on the fringes of games.
Yeah.
So I think that's what he's got to do. He's not got to turn into that kind of player, but when he is on the ball, when got dead ball situations, when he's got the ball in good areas to deliver from open play, he's got to make sure that time and time again he's producing. I think, like you say, he's tended to do that. Possibly, he plays better that first game back in the team.
He does, yeah, he does.
You know, once he's in,
I know it.
I'm not saying he fades to nothing, but once he's in the second and third games, he don't quite seem to have that impact.
No.
So
must play with a little bit of anger. What did he do? We've dropped me. I'm going to show him.
He needs to bring him off the bench after 5 minutes each game and crank him into life like that.
Yeah.
But again, Jack and Connor made this point last night on the interview that I saw them give, that if you've got Jack Grealish and John McGinn, who are amongst the most kind of marked men and fouled players on the pitch, and then you've got somebody who can deliver the way Conor Hurahan can deliver, set pieces are a big deal. You know, in games that are tight, if you can win on those margins, then it's quite a good combination to have. So, I mean, you're right. You mentioned it earlier about the way that team was set up last night, and I think Nakamba has been a real star in the early stage of the season. But for Villa to be blessed with that many midfield options. In a position where, you know, Villa have been great at signing centre halves down the years, and we'll come to that in a minute. Central midfielders, not so much. You know, we've had, I'm probably going to be a bit harsh on some of the names I'm talking about here, but we've had Karim El Almadi, we've had Yakuba Silla. You know, give me some Ashley Westwood split opinion for the seasons that he was at Villa. Now, I mean, Henry Lansbury, I think he's on the verge. He's on the brink of that breakthrough.
Yeah,
he ain't getting that team.
No, not at the moment. No.
Anytime soon.
No.
What a nice position to be in.
Yeah, it's blessed with so much talent in the engine room, which is good to see. Even McGinn was upstage last night. Yeah. McGinn of all people.
I don't think McGinn's been brilliant for the last couple of games, no. But he probably still could have scored twice. He was still involved. He was still.
Yeah, says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, he scored 10 in 20 club and country. McGinn. All the focus on him before the game. He's pulling up trees for Scotland, and he's been outdone by the Irishman who ran to come in from the cold.
I think it's brilliant from McGinn, just fading out just before the January transfer window, because he loves Villa so much. You don't want anybody to come knocking.
No.
He's like, I don't want your phone ringing, DEANO. I'm just going to chill out for a bit.
7 out of 10.
Let Connor and Jack take me.
That'll do, mate. But yeah, quality. I've got a goal threat in the middle, haven't you, as well? Even Douglas Luiz had a shot earlier. Got a great save.
I thought his name was Shoot.
Oh yeah, I think
it's all ever here when he's got the ball. It's Shoot. So I didn't realise Douglas Luiz.
He could be picking up off the defence. Shoot. But no, got goals in abundance there, and brilliant.
Central defence. We've got Ezri Konsa has made it into the starting lineup, and as is the way, had to wait until Bjorn Engels picked up a knock. Probably one of the best of an average bunch at Wolves, to be honest.
Yeah, he was.
At Molineux last time out, and fair play to Dean Smith. I actually thought he'd restore Engels, even as well as Konsa had played. I thought he'd restore Engels because he kind of got this unit set up.
Yeah.
But he's coming, and again, you know, the kid ain't played in the Premier League.
No.
Premier League before, but it didn't seem to faze him.
22-year-old, got a real swagger about him. Wears his socks high up, looks like a continental centre half. Loves it. Strolls out of defence, looking the real deal. And yeah, I mean, he's not flummoxed at all, is he? He's so cool on the ball. He slotted in there really well. He had to be patient as well, hasn't he? Must have been frustrating for him. Big money move in the summer. Smith loading him up as a future England international. He's had to play the old Carabao Cup game and took his chance at Wolves last week. Didn't put a foot wrong for me. And yeah, Smith said afterwards yesterday, he said Engels trained this week, had a decision to make. I thought Konsa played well against Wolves, kept his place, and last night didn't put a foot wrong again, alongside Mings. Mings had a bit of a funny game last night. I thought he was overdoing the passes sometimes, shanking a few clearances, but he'll get his head back on. He's crucial to Villa. They've got the options there, haven't we? Engels coming back in. I mean, there's Courtney Horse who can't get a game, who looks solid in the cup games. Yeah, well stocked in that position. Constantine, well.
I think the thing with let's put it in context. They're going to play better strike forces than Newcastle United, aren't they?
Yeah.
And probably not until Andy Carroll came on and they looked for the big diagonal to Carroll did Konsa really have a great deal to do. But you've still got to get in there and get it done. Mings to me was an interesting one because I think it was so comfortable for Villa in the first half. Newcastle posed such little threat and didn't really have any intention or any kind of desire to go and take Villa on, that almost just a bit of complacency can creep in a little bit, and a bit of lazy passing, and gave the ball away a few times. I think it took that little kind of, and that rolled into the start of the second half. Newcastle started brighter and Villa was still a little bit kind of lackadaisical, if you like. It wasn't until that first 10 minutes had gone that Villa thought, listen, we might not be playing against the best team in the Premier League, but we're playing against another Premier League team. We've got to be at this, otherwise things...
All it takes is a goal, isn't it?
And I think once they'd sharpened up, and I think then they're playing at that tempo and things come naturally, and Mings is playing the ball naturally and he's not having to kind of stroke it, he's just playing it. And I think that helped. So I think it's, as silly as it sounds, it's, to me, God, I'm like a bloody amateur coach here, but when my lad plays football on a Sunday and he plays as defender, I think you need to be anxious. I think you need anxiety as a defender. You need to always panic and fear what's the worst that can happen here. Do you know what I mean? You need to be checking over your shoulder. You need to be kind of knowing where everybody is. I think once you've got that bit of anxiety, it just sharpens your performance. So I'm sure Tyrone Mings, who's an England international, will really welcome Matt Kendrick, soccer dad, for his insightful analysis here. But be anxious. Another one I wanted to, we're not going to go through and talk player by player, but your man up front, Wesley, continues to split opinion. We've spoken about him at length before, so I don't think we need chapter and verse about him. But just on the basis of last night, what did you think of him last night?
I like his haircut. Skinned his hair there.
That's enough, then. That's the Wesley analysis.
Yeah, he's gone for the tough man, hard man look.
Some of us have no choice, mate. Not because I'm an hard man, just because I'm bald, basically, just before anybody tries to offer me out. Other than... good observation skills. You've got the concept pulling his socks off. You've got Wesley. This sounds like a thing you might have misplaced from me, Ash.
So we're sporting the old Brazilian R9 skinhead. But he didn't finish like him.
I wonder where you were going with that, sporting the old Brazilian.
He's put on a Playboy Hurahan, wasn't he? He should have scored, man. But he's working hard, isn't he? The crowd are loving that. Give him his due. All the crowd wants a bit of graft. He's hard up there. Smith praised him afterwards. He said he occupied 3 centre-halves. Which, don't forget, he's up there on his own. He's in 3 centre-halves. He's not this one-man battering ram expected to get the ball into feet, turn around, put one on the floor, put one in top corner. It's going to come. We haven't seen the best of him yet, so he's still learning the game as a one-man striker. So, patience is a good thing. I
think you're right. I think they can be guilty of expecting him to be. I've got an image of... Stan Collymore now, not in a Villa shirt, in a Forest shirt, kind of getting the ball, rolling defenders, doing it all himself, sweeping finishes, all that.
Exactly.
Even Stan Collymore had Brian Roy and Pierre Van Hooijdonk and a foil up there.
Yeah.
Wesley's got to. Yeah. He's got to get he's the man who's the focal point, is making the ball stick. I don't think we can expect him to be the one who's delivering all the goals. No. But Wesley's played up top and tried to get Jack in around him, tried to get El Ghazi around him. McGinn's got forward a few times. So he's played his part in that team. It might only have been a 2-0 win, but it could have been a 5-0, 6-0. Villa are creating enough, and providing he's got that support. Yeah.
And he's getting chances. He had the chance last night. He'll take a few of them. Yeah. His trademark now, isn't he? He pins the defender back. There's loads of room for him. So he protects the ball. He waits for players to get up with him. And that seems his go-to trademark for him at the moment. So he's more of a link-up striker, as you know. The 4 goals he has scored, I think took him 5 touches. So with service, he will score. So it's a shame he didn't take that one last night. That was a gilt-edged chance, wasn't it? He should have took that, but never. And another tough game against you. Harry Maguire's coming up, and some of the best defences in the league. So don't forget he's only turned 23 today. So he'll be learning the game. Just bear with him. I mean, he'll be all right.
Birthday today?
Birthday today, yeah. So shout him out.
Oh God. Dan, you know that can of Stella and then Frazzle sort of gave it for your birthday, mate? You don't mind here. I ain't giving them Wesley, mate. I'm just hungry. So, I didn't want to talk about this, but I think we've got to talk about it. And Villa fans say, if you didn't want to talk about it, why are you talking about it? It's our podcast, so we're talking about it. Yeah. The Bruce factor last night. Now, I felt that the Villa fans played it just perfectly. Kind of didn't really acknowledge that he was there. So I don't mean that in a harsh way, but it didn't need to be about Bruce
No.
last night. It was about getting the 3 points. It was about beating a side around Villa. It was about Villa getting over a run of defeats and getting some confidence back. And I just thought it was kind of a nice understated. They didn't boo him, and I don't think he should have been booed because although it ended on a sour note, I think he did his best. He did his absolute best to steady the ship and get Villa back. So yeah, I thought I was really proud of the Villa Park crowd for the way that they played it.
Yeah. Well, obviously that taunted him after Gattel Ghazi's second, didn't
they? Yeah, I mean, I think
what to score, Brucey, what to score, but
I didn't think they overdid it though.
No,
it
was just sort of, wasn't it, in the end? And towards the end of the game, when the result was in the bag, Dean Smith gave us a wave. And I thought that was the.
I mean, I know Bruce. You were in the press conference.
You're just yards away from him.
I know Bruce at the end of in his presser at the end said, "Nah, it didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
I'm over that." But looking at his face as he kind of trudged down the touchline, and I think seeing the whole end, giving DEANO the acclaim, and DEANO with a little kind of modest wave back. I think that was the biggest statement for me. That said more to me than Brucey, what's the score? That said more to me than pelting the fella with the Sainsbury's shopping trolley full of veg. That said more to me than booing him. Didn't need any of that. I don't think. I mean, I did watch Bruce walk down to the dugout before the game. Pat on the back from Dean Smith, a little bit of banter with John Terry and stuff. But I don't think the crowd really noticed or didn't applaud, didn't boo or anything. And I think it's a statement that time moves on.
Definitely. Dean Smith, give his thumb up to the crowd, little subtle gesture. Yeah, everyone's moved on. Villa feel better off now. Yeah, we should move forward, don't we?
How did he come across in the press at the end, Bruce?
Like a face like a slapped so-and-so, to be honest. He was absolutely doomed.
Oh, when he's happy?
Yeah, dooming he was. I don't think he was swallowing his pride kind of thing, but he wasn't happy with his Newcastle players. And he said the result, because it was at Villa Park, didn't hurt him. He said he was just disappointed with the result and the way the players performed. Yeah, he said, he reiterated to me, no, we've gone past that now. We moved on. Villa's a good club. I did my best for 2 years, enjoyed my time. I'm at Newcastle now. So yeah, everyone's moved forward for the better.
We can't do a podcast today without talking about Pukegate. I know we mentioned it briefly at the start of the thing, but I didn't actually see it, the situation. So, go on, Ash, give us an eyewitness account.
So he's on all. The player's going on. He's by the tunnel edge, just inside the pitch and the touchline. He's crouched down on all fours. What's he doing there? And then he's like what do you call it? Retching he was. And then
we used to say singing down the big white telephone. We did, or Ralphing we used to call it.
Ralphing, yeah. And he's had a couple of goes. The third time, it's just all come out like water or something. And I don't know, it was like yesterday's porridge was coming up. It was horrible. And so he's gone up. He's had a bit of water. The doctors treated him, and he's carried on. And they just left the sick there. I was just waiting for someone to slide into that in the second half.
See what they should have done, like at our school, they used to just put a bit of sawdust on it, and do it like that. They should have done it like that. That's disgusting. Fair play to him for carrying on.
Carried on, yeah. Is it Tommy Johnson did it before?
Tommy Johnson did it, yeah, back in the 90s when you two were still little whippersnappers.
Yeah.
I think it was anxiety. I can't remember the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, he held up his breakfast and carried on playing. So fair play. I mean, you see that on Sunday mornings, don't you? I mean, you still play Sundays. Yeah. You see that down on the park pitches, but that's normally kind of 10 pints of Stella and a biryani coming out in it, which I can't believe Villa's nutritionist would give that to Matt Target before the game. So now, fair play to him. He's an interesting one, Target, for me, because it ain't been the most conventional starts for him. He's had stop-start with injuries. He's puked on the pitch. But I like him. I do. I like him down that left flank, and they're playing some lovely stuff down there. Last night, and we've been raving about Jack, and I remember Brian Jones when you spoke to him a couple of weeks ago talking about the weight of pass. And there was an example of that last night where Jack picked a lovely little pass and Target's come back. Was it the one for Wesley that was saved? I can't remember. I can't remember which chance it was, but no, he's understated. But I think he's going to be a popular player down there because we've spoken about central midfield being a problem position. Left back's not been that great. I mean, this was done by the fact we had to kind of choose that team of the decade from this decade. And couldn't think of other than Warnock.
You going back to Freddie Boomer? And
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we've really had a great player in that position. So he's been really good.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention last night, I had a message from Villa in the middle of the night from Mick Dale. I don't know whether you know Mick, who's the tour guide extraordinaire.
Yeah.
And he was in the programme last night because he's 60 on Friday. And I just wanted to kind of give...
Brilliant.
I mean, we will do dedications. We'll get Ash to do a singogram or something like that, or I'll do a stripogram if it's a special occasion, like a bar mitzvah or something like that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to give a big shout out to Mick Dale, because to me, he's a guy who epitomises Aston Villa, what Aston Villa should be like as a family club. 60, I think he is on Friday. He's got a weekend planned with his family. So, big shout out, Mick. Many happy returns. I know that Villa got that victory for you last night. But yeah, I don't know whether people have had the pleasure of going on one of Mick Dale's tour guides, but as exciting as it is seeing behind the scenes at Villa Park and going into the unseen areas and the dressing room and the corridors that we wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
The way Mick delivers it with some of his stories and some of his gags. He did admit to me last night when he spoke to me that he's nicked our grocery misconduct gag to talk about Cabbage Gag. But you're welcome to that, Mick. That's probably your birthday present, unless you want to share a can of Stella and a packet of Frazzles with Dan Rollinson and Wesley.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a really, really great guy. So I just wanted to kind of give him a big shout out. Well, Ash, England's number 3 or number 4 is he now? Was back in action last night. It surprised me. I thought, obviously we get our injury updates from Villa's reserve goalkeeper speaking to the Norwegian press nowadays, but needs must. I thought he'd be out for another couple of weeks. God, it's the last time I rely on you all, Jen.
Yeah.
He was back between the sticks, made some important saves, but I just got the sense that he gives you that kind of security anyway.
Yeah. When Heaton's in goal, he's got this aura about him. I've got this. Don't worry, lads. I'm here, basically. And I think the players feel that as well. Big Tom Heaton's in goal for us. Massive character in the dressing room. He's huge around the body, more training complex as well. And the lads spoke when Hurahan grabbed all the plaudits and whatnot yesterday, but a few of the lads gave Heaton a shout out, which says a lot about him. And he's just the effect he has on the club at the moment. So yeah, I mean that save just after half time was crucial. He's got similar to you. He's got a knack of coming up with the goods when Villa need him. Yeah. So whether that's through saves or being a calming voice back there for the likes of Mings and Conte in front of him. Yeah, I mean he's priceless now. Something Villa needed and cried for a long time, isn't it? Between the sticks.
It's mad, isn't it? And this is not supposed to be a real slight or criticism of Jack Butland, but that was the one. Go get Butland. Go get Butland. God, yeah. 25 million, 30 quid. He's a good age. And I know he's got a few, yet to probably reach his prime compared to Heaton, who's a little bit older. But I think we've dodged one there. I think Heaton was, and I think you've nailed it, because it's not just him as how agile he is or how good he is at collecting crosses or saving or shot stopping. He's a presence, and he's vocal, and he's got that experience. And I think
been around the block, hasn't he?
I think that package. And there's the moment last night, which it wasn't. He did make that fine save, and he was very reliable. But something I noticed, he just pinged this one ball out to Gilbert on the right flank. It was inch perfect, and I thought, well, and it wasn't a straightforward roll pass across the turf. It was a kind of proper kind of ping. I thought, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm having that. So I think his distribution is something that, because he's the all-round package, perhaps overlook the fact that he can, he can play a bit.
He scored at Man U, wasn't he? So,
he can play a bit as well.
He's got so much belief about him. Yeah, he's just a calming head back there. Yeah, I was saying, so much belief in him. Can't fault him, can you? So,
and I think as a goalkeeper as well, he's relatively young. There's no reason why he can't get another 4 years out of him.
Like a freedom, similar to that, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think, and again, I think it's that because he's so self-assured, he kind of that spreads confidence to the back four, and that was an important save at that time, because it was that time where Newcastle had thought, all right, we've come to play a football match, we've got to have a go for 5 minutes. And there was a bit of vulnerability about Villa, but came to the rescue. So I think I think Villa would have probably lost at Wolves regardless, to be honest. I think Wolves were better, and I think Villa were probably produced their least competitive performance of the season. But having said that, it just shows the difference between Dean Smith having his A-team on the pitch and not having his A-team on the pitch, which... Is it a recruitment issue? I don't think Villa are going to go massive in January. I think they'll look to give Wesley some more support, and they may look to bring in somebody else on the width, in a bit more width. But I think next summer, and I'm getting massively ahead of myself next summer, because until we know what division Villa are going to be in, can't plan to recruit massively for next summer. But I think next summer, it's where you take the next step. Then it's making sure that your reserve team. In all positions, and we've said we've got a strong midfield, we've got a strong central defence, but I do think that you can't run before you can walk, and you've got to be spend 140 million. How much do we expect him to spend to get a Premier League A team and a Premier League B team? But I think it is, to me, it's making sure that we've got nailed on decent quality deputies in every position, which brings me on. It doesn't necessarily bring me on. It's the worst segue in the world. But I wanted to have a little look ahead to Sunday, Old Trafford. Yeah. See, this is why we give you the job, Ash. You know, bloody car fires and bloody robberies and stabbings and you know, around Great Bar. I mean, that was you reporting on. I'm not doing it, by the way. Yeah. You know, I'm not. This is what it's all about, mate.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Old Trafford on a Sunday. Well, I'll be kind of devouring my Sunday roast in front of the television. You'll be there. Yeah. Theatre of dreams.
That's it.
Think Villa can go there and sneak something?
Why not? I mean, Palace have done it this year. Man U have looked a bit ropey. Away from home and at home. I watched the game last Sunday. Sheffield United. They were great for the 2-0 up. They were. Man U clawed the way back, and then Sheffield United grabbed an equaliser. So they are vulnerable, Man U, regardless. So I think Villa now with the players back. Your Grealish is back. You mentioned Heaton there, going to places like the Old Trafford. Heaton's experience and nous, even just in the winding down the clock moments, or just doing the right things at the right time, they're all vital. So Villa, they'll be buoyed by this win against Newcastle, back on the winning trail. Go to Old Trafford. I wouldn't say it's a free hit, because I think Villa can go there and cause problems. So Dean Smith will be pumping them up now with some belief. We can do the business there. We've got some of the most informed players in the league, in your Grealishes and whatnot. There's a little added incentive there for McGinn after all the paper talk. Man U wanted me. He might have a little bit of a carrot to go at. So yeah, no fear for me. Go out there and just do what he did against Newcastle. Go at them. But yeah, I think Dean Smith will do that as well.
We're debating off tape and off camera how much I should pretend that I know about Man United, won't we? And saying, should I wing it? I haven't seen a great deal of them this season. Now, I'm sorry about this. I should be more professional than this, but on a Sunday afternoon, I have to stick my son's football washing in the washing machine. I have to, load the dishwasher. If I get anywhere near the telly, I might catch a bit of Frozen or Tangled or something like that. So, my daughter's trying to get the control off me. Dad, can we watch the football? No, we're watching Frozen or Tangled. What I'm getting at basically is, you tell me who we need to fear. Really. It's
the forward line, isn't it? Daniel James has started really well. The Welsh kid, rapid. He was really good last week at Sheffield United. So it's the forward areas. Rashford coming in a bit of form now. But elsewhere, other than that, the midfield can be got at. They're a very young team now while he's playing. So yes, they are talented, but I think Villa have got more of a team spirit about them. Who can go there and cause problems. I think Villa have got a chance with Grealish on the pitch regardless of who you're playing. We've seen that for glimpses at the Emirates and the Etihad up until that goal. Grealish is quality. I've said this. He's sensational at the moment. So he's on the pitch. He's going to make things happen. He's going to really relish playing at the Theatre of Dreams. Something he'll want to go on.
Do you think? I was just thinking about Old Trafford, and it's never known as not for many years, known as this hostile environment anyway. No. It's a bit of a cliche, but do you think it is a case of frustrating that crowd?
Yeah.
By perhaps, Villa don't have to go gung ho, but we've seen them start brightly. at the Emirates. We've
Tottenham,
start
yeah.
brightly at Tottenham. So they have got the kind of confidence and the potential to go and do that. Do you think that's a key to what how Villa can achieve something?
It's intriguing though. I reckon they're bringing Nakamba back in, but giving it away from home against Man U. So you can't drop anyone, can you? So that'll tell you everything there is to know, really.
This is a big game for Hurahan.
I know,
if he starts, because it's that second game syndrome.
Second game syndrome, you're right.
Can you
do it?
Can you do it at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
I find it fascinating that I know I'm a bit after the event, but Villa have only just got in the Premier League, so forgive me for not talking about this sooner. How close Solskjaer came to managing Aston Villa. If you said then he'd have actually become Manchester United manager. No. It's remarkable.
Yeah. So close was he learner's man, wasn't it?
Yeah. They flew him in on the private jet back in the days where we used to have kind of airplane spotters on Twitter kind of pointed. I know that one.
Yeah.
I know the nose of that plane. I know that wing. That's a V4673. That's Randy's. But yeah, it's mad. It's interesting then. Back then, it came so close. I don't know what turned that. I mean, we're talking nostalgia here, but I don't know what convinced that, because he was nailed on to get it.
Yeah.
We were close to the Norwegian press back then, and obviously they were feeding us a bit more from their end than we were getting from our end. It's different, I suppose, though, if Man United come knocking.
Yeah, we started at Molde, didn't he? Then Cardiff, and then that wasn't very good, was it? And then took over at Man U. Steadied the ship and got a tune out of him, but this year there's been a bit of pressure on him, hasn't there?
I think this would be the last time that Aston Villa play at Old Trafford with Solskjaer in, and that's not because Aston Villa are going to get relegated. That's because I think Pochettino probably will be in there before the season's out. So with all due respect to the baby-faced assassin, Solskjaer, let's hope that we give him another little shove towards the door on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. And there's no reason why we can't go there and get a result. Dave Smith, no fear. That's his mantra. And just give the ball to Grealish. It'll work his magic. And looking forward to that one. That's what we've got to come up for. Playing the grand stages of them all. And even like you've mentioned it, the Arsenals, the big ground this year. Villa have been more than competitive. Just needs to be a bit more streetwise. On and off the ball. Obviously there was undone at Man City. Next thing you know, 3 goals going just like that. Arsenal, they were naive as well, so they'll be trying to learn from the mistakes. Smith also spoke previously about going to a big place like that and getting results, getting the monkey off the back, so hopefully they can do that now as well. So it's got to turn. You'd fancy Villa getting the results out of Man U or Chelsea. Big week. And then Leicester, a week on Sunday as well, so these are the games that we look forward to seeing.
You got some questions for us, Dan?
I have. We'll do these pretty quick fire, because we've kind of talked about some of these topics anyway.
Okay.
So, the first question was from a guy called Villa Mad. He says, Wesley, please discuss. That's all he says.
Patience for me. Patience. If Villa were losing matches every week, which I know they were 2 weeks ago. Villa were losing matches every week and they were marooned at the bottom of the Premier League. I think you could say this striker's not fit for purpose if he's part of it, but he's scoring goals, he's trying to hold the ball up, he's trying to learn his game in the glare of the Premier League. I think we've got to be patient, we've got to give him a chance, and we've got to give him some support with either a foil to play up with him in January, or somebody who can take the burden off him in January.
So just keep backing him. Keep backing him. He'll work hard for you. And he's got 4 goals already. I know they haven't been all like brand spanking performances, but I mean, just back him. I mean, Villa, turn the corner now. Hopefully, so over the Christmas period, he gets a couple more, gets that confidence going again, and just back him. Be patient, as you say. Yeah.
I mean, I can quite confidently say he's my favourite ever Aston Villa Brazilian international. So, what more is there to say than that?
Ethan Woodward says, "What do we need in January?"
What do we need in January?
Well, Ashley's going to be a dad, so he probably needs some sleep, some nappies,
one on the way,
a can of Stella and a packet of Frazzles. Go on, after you.
So I don't think Villa will be that busy in January. They did all the work in the summer, so hopefully they'll be just fine-tuning the players who haven't been involved. Hotter, forgot about him. He'll come in hopefully and add his worth. Trezeguet's I haven't seen the best of him yet. He scored back-to-back goals, so he's been in and out. Just getting a tune out of the players who aren't playing, I suppose, and the likes of Hurahan stepping up to the plate, which they have been doing. they might be in the market for another wide man, perhaps. We'll see what Codger's doing. Yeah. Codger's contract's running down, but just be fine tweaks. If the bargain comes available, whether a loan or just a bargain buy, I think they'll take it, but they're not in no rush for any business. So.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go big. They've spent heavily last summer. I don't think they need to go big in January. I think there's still FFP is still a consideration, even though they're back on the Premier League gravy train, because it takes into account the last 2 years still, I believe, as well as this season. A striker, they need a striker to take a bit of the burden off Wesley. The latest link at the weekend obviously was this kid at Liverpool, this Ryan Brewster, who I've heard good things about. Somebody described him as a young Jermaine Defoe, which I'd quite like to take a little bit of that. Might get to see him ourselves at Villa Park in the Cup quarter final. I can categorically say that they won't be signing anybody from Glasgow Rangers.
No.
So there's been a couple of players linked there by various media outlets, but I'm led to believe they won't be bringing anybody in from Rangers. So we'll wait and see. I think it's. I think Ash nailed it, kind of its tweaks and its fine-tuning. Villa have already, with last summer's spending, but these quick-fire ones, weren't they? Villa have already, with last summer's spending spree, kind of put together a very competitive, I'd say, Premier League 14.
Yeah.
14, so. 15. And I'm confident that's going to be enough to keep them in the Premier League for another season.
How good was Douglas Luiz yesterday? Had a few errant plays on the ball, but he seems to be growing into his own at Villa now.
Yeah, Douglas Luiz, a bit of a maverick, isn't he? I don't think his name is Shoot every time he gets the ball, but he played in the anchorman role yesterday. He's got an attacking edge to him as well. He does dawdle on the ball now and again when he picks it up, a bit too casual at times, but he's a great option in there, goal threat. Knows his way around the football field, and a great technician as well. So he looks a great buy at 15 million. He can do a number of positions, play number 8, he can play defensive if needs be. So he's been solid today, and he'll be able to build on it.
I think he's going to be my second ever favourite Aston Villa Brazilian international, to be honest. But I echo what Ash says. Looks very calm sometimes. The calmest man in the ground. If only somebody would shout Douglas at him rather than shoot, he might get a warning that somebody's about to nick the ball off his toes. But I think he's growing in confidence. I think
really young lad as well.
Yeah,
so
I think he's good. I think Villa have got two. We're talking about how strong they are in the defensive, in the central midfield positions. I think they've got two strong DMs there in terms of Nakamba and Douglas Luiz. Considering neither of them have got Premier League experience really behind them, I think they've adapted very well and really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either of you two will have the answer to this one. It's an interesting point from James. He says, having dropped a lot of points and conceded 16 goals in the second half of games, how do we sort that out?
Do you want me to go back to my Sunday morning football analysis? I don't know, There's my Sunday morning football analysis. I think it's really difficult. I don't think it doesn't seem to be a fitness issue, particularly. I think it's just a kind of law of averages in some of the games where they've had to concede ground and concede possession. If people bang on your door so many times, eventually they're gonna find a way through.
Yeah.
I think Ash has said in how this equates to what people do on a football pitch, I don't know, but I agree that they need to be more streetwise. They need to be a bit savvier about kind of killing games off by winding the clock down, by Listen, they got a 2-goal advantage last night, so you don't particularly need to wind the clock down. You could probably go and try and get that extra goal.
They tried as well, didn't they? Wesley could have wrapped it up with the third, so they tried to wrap it up last night. But as for late goals, you're up against quality opposition the last few weeks. Yeah. Liverpool had so much possession in the second half, they're dragging you out, making you more tired. Yeah. And chasing the ball's always harder than working with the ball, isn't it? So they found it tough against the bigger team, which is anyone will struggle there, wouldn't they? So,
I think again it probably comes down to having that outlet in the end of games when you've got Wesley, who's been a bit of a kind of a lone warrior, and naturally you're going to step back and defend deeper as the clock winds down, and then you're relying on a very tired, battered, kind of worn out Wesley to be your main man who's up front on his own making the ball stick, and that's not that easy. So perhaps we saw earlier in the season we'd at least got Keenan Davis who could come on and try and be that man who makes the ball stick and gives Villa a bit of respite. They haven't got anybody to do that at the moment. So was that a bit of did we waffle enough there to answer James?
Happy with that waffling?
Sorted.
Final question for me. Explain this monstrosity of a t-shirt, please.
What, Rudolph? When's this? Is this going? This is the Christmas Eve podcast, isn't it? Is that when it's going out? It's going out today.
November.
Yes, it's. I was going to think of a real festive reason. It's because I sound like a real male chauvinist pig now. My wife didn't iron me a shirt. didn't iron me a shirt this morning. So the nearest thing within range was my Rudolph pyjama top. And
pyjama top.
I think it is a pyjama top. Yeah. So can we? I'm sorry about that. You've made me feel really, really shy and embarrassed.
Can we also clarify that I'm sitting on the floor as well, and I'm not like 3 foot because you're looking down on me at the moment. Like, no, it looks weird.
No, we're looking down on you, mate. That's the way we see you. To be honest, it's.
Nice.
No, you are. We're not. This is not being filmed and edited by Warwick Davis. We can confirm that.
Can we wrap this up as well? Because my knees are getting a little bit sore now.
We did warn you that, mate. We did warn you as soon as you turn 24, all your joints and all your body starts to creak. So that was. That was, when you do a pilot episode and you're not really sure you're going to get a series. Give us a second series. Give me a second series, you mother. That was part one of our new, and we'll let you decide whether it's improved, Aston Villa podcast, Claret and Blue. We are the new version of Aliv Notza. Crap name, great concept. But we're back. We want you to get involved. We're going to be on. Dan, do you want to tell us the podcast channels that people can find us on?
It's on Acast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. So a lot of things to follow and keep up with.
There you go. So we'll try and kind of infiltrate your feeds any way that we can. Thanks for listening. We hope it's past your commute or your whatever you're up to. Hope you've enjoyed our company, and we'll be back every week, sometimes even twice a week. So look out for that. Thank you very much.